and right across the Eastern Caribbean. You're listening to us on a Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It is time for a rebroadcast of the Lall Show. Like would have mentioned to you, Mr. Lall is on a vacation, and of course, he continues to send his regards to each and every one of you, and really hopes that you are finding these rebroadcasts very interesting. Because just in case you might want a recap, or in case you're new to the program, well, these programs would have been aired already here on the Kaieteur Radio and, of course, the Lall Show. But what we're doing in the absence of the man of the moment, as I like to call him, we are bringing to you rebroadcast. And as soon as he returns back home, of course, he misses you very dearly. Upon his arrival here, we will continue to bring to you the Lall Show as per normal. As a reminder, it comes your way listen every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 19 hours 20. So it is time for that rebroadcast. And of course, we encourage you to call a friend and tell a friend that they can join the Lall Show. And of course, a lot of persons would have reached out to us and expressed their gratitude for this rebroadcast because they would have listened to it before. But every now and again, it's good to recap on the things that we would have listened to or learned. All right. So without further ado, it's going to be time for that rebroadcast.
Good night to all, Guyana. Two things happened to me today. One made me happy, and one made me a bit sad. A bishop came out of nowhere to congratulate me at my office and said a special prayer for me and the staff of Kaieteur News. I know some of you out there may be praying for me too. So let me say thank you, Bishop, and thanks to all those who are praying for me and my staff. The next thing that happened to me that made me a little sad, driving to work, I saw something that I've never seen before. A man on the public road begging in the rain with an umbrella over his head. It bothers my soul all day. What a Guyana, with all this wealth that we have, has to have a brother begging in the rain for a little food. Just think about that as I go along with tonight's program. I have three quotes to share with you that I love. One, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Two, pay attention to your enemies, for they are the first to discover your mistakes. And the last one, failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Find your mistakes, correct them, and don't be too busy making other plans. Those are simple and beautiful words of wisdom for all of us, including our leaders. I love it. Tonight, I want to explain some things what very few people know about in this country. Things that are very destructive to our country and deadly to our citizens and future generations. Before I get to that topic, let me ask all of you, why I, Lall, got to beat y'all to like y'all selves? Can somebody tell me that? I have to beat up y'all every week to fight for y'all own thing what end up in strangers' hands? No, man. We got to get them back. We got to get back our oil blocks, gold, diamond, timber fields, or we have to get a fair share of it. 50%, not 2, 5, 7, and 8%. It's ours. no one, let me repeat, no one can and should have given away our things like that. What you say, sir? What you say, ma'am?
That's right.
Hmm?
That's right.
I love that answer. I am still waiting on some photos. I got some, but I need more. On the protests that I have initiated every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Please send them. Send them with a little piece of paper in front of you saying renegotiation of all these foreign contracts is a must. We are not asking. We are not begging. It's a must from all of us. Why I have to beat y'all every day to powder your face to look nice? Huh? Why do I have to do that? Me lashing every one of you to go and get back your things that these camps took away from y'all. No, man. We got to continue the protests to get our fair share. What belongs to us? Why our leaders not screaming for more on Exxon with the biggest oil block? We got half of Guyana's wealth inside. That gives us nothing. Can somebody answer that question for me? Half of our oil wealth sits in the Stabroek block with Exxon, and our leaders not screaming, not asking, not demanding a renegotiation. Guys, you give a junkie a raise, he just stretch his hands out, begging for a little more. We get nothing from our oil blocks that worth billions of American dollars. We people got to there begging for food day and night. Why? We have leaders knows how many people suffering right across this land and not asking, much less begging these people who receive the oil block for something more. Something is wrong.
That's right.
Something is wrong.
That's right.
Knowing that we deserve billions on it, and they're not asking. Man, something is wrong.
Something is definitely wrong.
What is going on? Jagdeo talking a set of lies all over. He's one of the biggest beggar this region had and still have. Why he's not saying a word about our wealth? Guys, you reading through the line?
Yes, absolutely.
Matter of fact, he's a staunch defender of these oil and gold contracts, all the foreign contracts.
Correct. That's right.
And he's facilitating and defending them in every single way possible.
Yes. True.
Brothers and sisters, he went again Monday night on an online radio program and telling the people how he want to change anything within the Stabroek block.
Wow.
Why? Why?
Wow.
Are you benefiting something personally
Yes.
that you don't want to renegotiate this oil contract, Mr. Jagdeo?
Yes.
Huh? Mr. Jagdeo, let me say this. The Stabroek block is the biggest. It have more than half our oil wealth. Nobody wants to hear that crap from you. Guys, please, y'all gotta wake up and watch these people. You see the reason why he doesn't want to come on this radio station?
Yes.
Because he can't come and sit down and talk that crap with me or any one of my staff. I challenge him, and all of them, don't come in. Call the same way you're doing it on the online station, and let's talk to the people of this country directly. What do you say, guys?
Of course. Absolutely. Of course. Do it tonight, God.
Hear me, Guyana. I will make it more simple for all of them. I will send them my questions up front tonight after the show. So all of them can have ample time to join me Friday night. Let's hear what they will do. Man, isn't that fair?
Of course.
More than fear.
Yes, I'm going to give them the questions tonight. I am trying to help them to come on this radio program. And I promise I will not ask them any other questions that I didn't send them. So they don't have to be afraid of me embarrassing them. But I will respond to them as to the answers they give. Isn't that a fair shot?
Yes.
And guys, leaders like Mr. Jagdeo, please stop this nonsense of sanctity of contracts. Nothing in this world set in stone or signed in blood. No. That was 300, 400 years ago. That's not today. Any contract can change. Many decent leaders around the world change worse contract
Yes.
than what we sign on to. And on top of that, we contract says it can be changed if both parties agree.
That's right.
So why you guys not asking? Why? What is the deal between you guys and the oil companies? May I ask? Man, Glenn Lall got to beat y'all for like y'all self.
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
For stand up and fight for your own thing. To buy a little powder, for powder your face to look a little nice like me. Yeah? What happening, buddy? These leaders are telling you lies and more lies every time they open their mouth to speak. Them ducking and hiding in rat holes, peeping out when it's convenient to them. Guys, let's see how long they will live in those rat holes and snake holes. I will be on their backs until they come out and face this nation. I am so happy. I felt really good that pastor came here today and prayed for me. He said, Glenn, your protection is the savior of this country. He haven't heard or seen the people who was elected to lead, defend, protect this nation is not doing it. It's only Glenn alone doing it. Thank you again, Bishop. Man, what's going on here? It's not a mistake anymore. What is going on in this land, brothers and sisters, is not a mistake anymore. If it was, they would have been on all the media houses barking with us, demanding changes. Their complete silence is telling us a different story. Oh, wake up, Guyana. Please. Don't trust them. They are too silent. And your livelihoods are at stake. Not mine, like I said many times. I am too much of a blessed human being. It's for you and your children and children's life at stake. I saw Mr. Jagdeo blaming the PNC for messing up the deal. Stop this, Jagdeo. Stop it. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. But you not saying how Donald Ramotar and Robert Prasad give away the oil blocks. Why? Why? And let me tell you this. You have the opportunity to bring about all the changes now. But you're not doing it. Why? Why are you picking and choosing what to say and who to jump on? Huh? Guys, this nation has had enough of this type of crap from all of you. Walking around the place, talking this nonsense. You're walking around telling people who did this and who did that. You got to stop it. Stop this blame game. People want what belongs to them. The gold and the oil belongs to them. And they elect y'all to work in the best interest and not to give away the people things in secret and in devious ways. No, 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 sirs, no, madams. Every piece of wealth belongs to us, the Guyanese people. Stop hiding and playing games with our good lives. We can be the richest nation on earth and half of our people can't freaking eat a proper meal when the day come. No, brother, no. No. You see why my mouth can't shut? It's because of things like this when I hear them. Let's get into tonight's program. Let me tell you, all of you, that there is things that's happening in this country that is killing all of us one by one that you don't know about. Let me tell you the first thing. It is called produced water. How many of you know what is produced water and the dangers it poses to our health and our lives? How many of you know what is produced water? Yeah? Joshua, you know? No? Mm-hmm. Two staff asked me, boss, what is this produced water they're talking about in the oil business? I asked them what they think it is. Both of them said it's the ocean water they must be using for wash up and clean up when they bring the oil. And I guess all of you would want to say the same thing. Well, let me explain what it is. It is not the ocean water. You hear that clearly? It is not the ocean water. Let me explain simply so you can understand what we are dealing with. Produced water is different and it is 10 times more dangerous than the ocean water out there. You hear that? It is extremely hot. Hotter than an iron you just press your clothes with. You hear me? It is 150%. What do you call it? Degrees Celsius? Yes. Celsius, yes. Even my tongue tying with it. And we ocean water is only 13 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
Hear that? So it's 150 to 13. It is above boiling water. The point of boiling water, it is way above that. You guys see how hot it is? Imagine that drop on your skin. Imagine somebody throw a bucket of boiling water, hotter than boiling water, on you. Man, you're going to start melt.
Like corrosive acid.
Yes, it's like corrosive acid. Produced water, natural gas, and oil. It is found 30,000 feet below the ocean floor. You hear that? All three of them, they sleep together in the same basin. Or if you want to say that they sleep together in a pool. So when they pump up the oil, all three just come up. And then there's use a separator on top of the waters to separate the gas, the produced water, and the oil. The oil goes into the ship, and the produced water is dumped in the ocean every day. Since them start bringing up oil, then bring up 120,000 barrel of oil per day. Guys, is 120,000 barrels of produced water coming up to. You hear that? Yeah. You see the amount of water they dump in there every day? If it's like if you have a pool and every day you dump 10 buckets of water from under the earth into it, what will eventually happen to the pool? It will run over. And when it run over the pool, it will run over your yard. Eventually, if you keep throwing more and more every day, it will reach in the house. Not true? Yeah. Well, it's the same thing going on with our ocean out there. Dumping 120,000 barrels of this produced water daily. It will raise the ocean water level and destroy our marine life too. I hear people saying all over how this is the highest flooding they ever see. Water never come in the yard or in the village like this before, and I smile because nobody ain't looking or asking why. Some people who came to me yesterday to make a complaint on the flooding said, Mr. Lall, I believe is a natural disaster. For me, it is not. Or maybe it's part of a natural disaster. Like I said, if you keep pouring water into a trench, you're going to run over the dam and cause flooding. Not true, man? Mm-hmm. Yes, it will. It will damage your crops too, and all your livestock. Plenty cows, chicken pens, and goat pens destroyed. Some people lose all their livestock as I speak right now. Some people house flood away. Some of us are already living with waterborne diseases. Plenty of our brothers hollering now how them suffer and them blame it on natural disaster. Guys, the oil operation that is going on out there is making a significant contribution to the destruction of our lives and livelihood. Not one of our leaders trying to correct it. Is either they don't know or them turning a blind eye as to what is going on. Some of them are run out from the rat holes to peep and see if Glenn Lall around before they come out to give you a little hampers. Yeah, I told you guys that Monday night. Exxon donate $10 million. $10 million. Instead of $10 billion to help our brothers and sisters who lose billions and is set to lose much, much more in hospital bills from that same produced water that is also in the flood waters. I am not upset with you, life. I am astonished. Like I said many times before, our fishes are dying out there in the droves. Fishermen used to go there and come back with a full boat of fish in 7 days' time. Now they're going out, spending 15 days and coming back with fish that can't even feed their families. You getting to understand what the oil operation is doing out there with these produced water, this extremely hot water, the oil and the gas, what is contributing to our lives and livelihood, brothers and sisters, is extremely dangerous. All of us, and Guyana is being destroyed by the operation that is going on there. And what are we getting? The flood you had, what did you get? 10 million. While we lose how much?
Billions.
In the billions. The 10 billion is gone by the tennis roll, couple tennis roll, and breadcrumbs to feed the Guyanese people. Yes. Thank you, Exxon. Big money. Produced water, like I said, does not come from the ocean. It comes from under the ocean floor. Come next year, when they continue with Liza 2 and Liza 3, which is Payara, the flooding will not be to your bottom floor. It will flood the top floor of your house. And this is only, what's happening now is only from Liza 1. You hear what I'm saying? When it meet 3, it's going to be triple. It will be 5 times if I don't lie. Because Liza 3 is bringing up more. Guyana would have to get a 10 feet seawall to prevent flooding. Otherwise, all of your house is going to be flooding to Trinidad. As a matter of fact, even Trinidad will be affected because they are our neighbors. And now they're talking about the 4th project, Yellowtail. Yeah. Exxon boss told me Friday, when I was the lonely Guyanese there, they will not be bringing up 120 barrels of oil per day. 230 to 250 barrels per day. I hear they say they would not be flaring, but I ain't buying that. I'm talking about what they say about the produced water. The man said they're going to be dumping 250 to 270,000 barrels of produced water a day. You know, I'm glad when they start pumping that produced water, it flew away all the leaders' mansions to a special island next to Alcatraz so they can live inside there. I'll visit them because I've been there on a vacation a few years ago. It's a nice place. I went there to see how the how the 3 men escaped from an unescapable prison, Alcatraz. Yes. Is this frightening?
Oh, yes.
Yes, it is. Yes. And them shoved down $10 million. You know, they shoved down the $20 million, the $10 million. I want the media to carry this story to show us ExxonMobil care for us.
Love us.
Yeah, you lose billions, them throw a few penny, right? And they want all the media to carry that. And if I don't lie, they can recover that too. This is how they operate. They do everything good in front, the flash of the cameras, and in the night they do the dirty deals. Lisa 1, 2, 3, now 4. When them up and running, they will dump almost 1 million barrels of produced water out there every day. What do you think happened to Guyana? You guys think about that and answer me, man. I can't answer that question. I ain't been to any university to answer that. You know, guys, you may want to ask, what can be done? Well, let me tell you, it's simple. It's simple. There is a remedy for it. The produced water coming up with the oil should have been re-injected back into the basin where it come from. You hear how simple it is?
Yep.
So there's a remedy for it. Put it back in the hole where it come from. But ExxonMobil don't want to do that. Them say it gonna cost money. Yes. Them prefer to save the few pennies in their pockets. While our lives, the Guyanese lives, doesn't matter. You hear that? That's simple. That's all I have to do. Re-inject it, put it back where it came from. They want to save a few pennies in their pocket and don't want to put back the produced water in the hole. You see what is more important to them? The few pennies and not our lives. I am not upset with you, life. I am astonished. This is one of the many things Jagdeo could have corrected in Payara before he gave that last permit. But he didn't. So guys, the suffering you are suffering, don't blame natural disaster. Blame your leaders for what is happening to you. And where are they? They're gonna bring you their salary and give you. And now you run with Lisa 4. And would not even correct that too. The leaders of this land need to fix right now all the clauses in Yellowtail before they grant permits for that project. You hear me, ladies and gentlemen? They have deadly, wrong, deceiving, deceitful, crookish clauses in all 3 of those projects that should be changed with this Yellowtail if it should go through. But is the but. Mr. Jagdeo Harman, Ali and Ramjatan them would do it? Ask them that question. And then you will know how much they love we, the citizens of this country. Mr. Jagdeo is saying, we ain't going to interfere with the clauses and contracts in his Stabrook block. We can correct the other one them. And these guys got to be collecting something. Something. What you guys say, man? They gotta be collecting something, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know the brown paper bag. This look like gogi bag. They're collecting chocolate in. You guys endangering an entire country and the citizens' livelihood. And now you got the nerve to go on foreign radio stations to say you're not correcting this? What is going on, Guyana? You guys see why they don't want to come on the radio station? Because I have too much to ask them. They're afraid of me and my staff. Because we have the right questions. Because we see the 3-card game they're playing with ExxonMobil on all of us. Guyana, it is more dangerous having these people in our waters and our shores. We used to live dire. Anyone know the word? Dire. We used to live slowly, day by day, eating we little fish, planting we baji and bora, breathing fresh air with we 1 and 2 diseases here and there. Flooding used to come and go, and still have we health intact. Now, them fetching it away in the 3-card way and destroying every way of life for us. And all our leaders running and hiding in potholes, peeping out to see who are wrong before they come out. They're afraid to face you too. With what I'm doing here, they're afraid to come out in the public now. Look around when I do come out. There is run to foreign radio stations, telling lies and lies. Some of them going secretly and meeting villagers without inviting the press, and promise them poor people 1 and 2 hampers. This is what we leaders have become overnight since Glenn started this program. It's true. Produced water, brothers and sisters, is more dangerous than drinking poison and not dying. That's what it is. I want to explain another type of water that you don't know. It's called ballast water. It is completely different from produced water. Ballast water have 2 dangers to our lives and livelihoods. Ballast water does put in a special section at the bottom of the boat to balance it when it's not fetching cargo or when it's empty and it's sailing. The Malali, Torani, Makaura, I think they're still using water, the ballast water. They've been using it. All boats use it. If you don't have enough weight or enough cargo, you have to use water to balance the ship through the journey. All boats in Guyana and the region does use water. In the case of transporting oil, when the ships come to Guyana, they pick up water to balance the ship to sail here. Yes, that water they use to balance the ship comes with deadly marine life from which every country the ship comes, from which every country the ship comes from, when it is dumped out there, it destroys our marine life, and it will impact on our lives, because if they kill or eat out our fishes, what me and you gonna eat? We will end up eating chunks. Tofu fish now. You know the Chinese bring in tofu?
Yeah.
Yes, we will end up eating tofu. It's like picking up a cage of lions from Africa to balance the ship, and when they come here, they dump it out in your ranch with your animals. What do you think will happen?
Yeah.
Or they throw it in the sheep pen or the goat pen. What do you think will happen? They're going to eat out everything. You understand? So the ballast water they pick up from, let's say they come from Japan or China. When they pick up that water, they pick up the marine life there, which can, when they dump it here to pick up the oil, can eat out anything in the way. You understand? The other one, remember I tell you two thing dangerous for the ballast water? Well, the other one is thieving. When the oil tanker comes here, they will dump out the ballast water and fill it with oil. Who's checking that to ensure that we are not getting rip-off there too?
They probably don't even know.
GRA? Because it's a big hull under the bottom of the boat. Right? So that load can carry out maybe a 500,000 barrel every trip. You understand what I'm saying, Josh?
Yes.
Who's checking? GRA? Ali? Or Mr. Harmon? So, what is the solution to that, you may want to ask, guys? Yes, there's a solution for that too. It is simple. To avoid endangering us further, they can use a few pennies to buy clean water to balance the boat. So when they throw it out here, it does not interfere or damage anything.
Yep.
But they are not doing that. They want to save the few cents in their pockets too. Killing out our bellies, starving our families for those few cents they have to spend to protect us. Yes, Guyanese lives doesn't matter. A few cents matters to them and their families. You understand what I'm saying? Clean water. You can buy the clean water and bring it.
Simple.
Our lives doesn't matter. I am not upset with you, life. I'm astonished. That in a nutshell is the ballast water. A little less dangerous than the produced water, but it still affects our livelihood through our marine life. And the section they're filling with the oil to take out. Who check in? Yeah. Now, let me talk a little about the bigger monster, the gas. The gas they're flaring out there. I told you earlier, 3 things being pumped up every day at the same time. Oil, produced water, and gas. The gas is 1,000,000 times more dangerous than the produced water and the ballast water. The gas they're flaring out there is 1,000,000 times worse to Guyana, to the people and the entire world. Right now, we are breathing in toxic chemicals that is unhealthy and deadly to all of us. It has already destroyed a big portion of Guyana forests in just over a year now. Guys, every day the flaring continues. 2,000 acres of our forests is being wiped away, being wiped out off the map. they have already destroyed, from 2019 to now, in excess of 1 million acres of our beautiful forests. Yes, in a few years' time, if they continue like this, with Lisa 2, 3, and the next one, if they get it, man, Guyana greenery will be looking like Dubai, a flat desert with not a blade of grass. Yes. On top of that, the flaring sends out several deadly chemicals that kills and pollute the entire planet. The two most dangerous and damaging chemicals that comes out from the flaring is even more deadlier to mankind. One is carbon dioxide, which causes changes in the weather patterns or climate change. The same flooding I'm talking about there. That's what it means. Yes, the flaring. It is trapping the heat. It also contributes to lung cancer, lung disease, and so on. Research shows that methane is 80 times more dangerous than carbon dioxide. Methane suffocates you as you breathe it, in it with the other gases. It leads to death. Death. Yes, that's what we are dealing with. It increases the rate of global warming on our planet much faster than carbon dioxide. You hear how dangerous that is? Yep. Jagde wants to bring the same gas in the Donkey project. If the pipeline run through Wales, you hear me? And you get a rupture, it can kill a whole village overnight. Like I said earlier, Jagde went again on Globe Span and cussed me out. He could not answer two simple questions the people asked him. One, the guy asked him about the crumbs Guyana getting from the oil. And you got to see the dance. You got to hear the nonsense he talk. And the other question a gentleman asked him about the foreigners coming in here and taking over Guyana. When the question was asked, when you look at him, he looked like he get a throat failure. And so on.
Like Chapman.
Yeah.
Like Chapman.
Yes, yeah. This is a man, Jagdev is a man who don't fumble for words. But you can't hear him. But you can hear him fumbling. And he was dancing like Exxon on that two very simple question he was asked. He danced around both of the questions. You see? You see why they are not holding press conferences? When last you guys hear they hold a press conference?
Months.
They're dancing, ducking and hiding in the rat holes. They're peeping to see who are wrong. I hope you guys see what these political leaders is doing to y'all. They may run go to Globe Span and talk a set of fraff, evading the people them simple question. I didn't listen. I didn't have time to listen. I'm too busy. It's people calling me and sending me the videos. That's how I know what they're saying. And that's how I know where they're going. I promised to send the questions. So here what I'll do. for them. I'll make it more simple and easy for them to come on the radio station. You know, when you enter a race, you just know who gonna win, who gonna be the winner. Yeah. Sometimes when you know you can beat up a man, you just want to give them a edge. Well, that is what I want to do to all of them tonight. I want to give them in advance some questions to study. Then come on the radio and answer them. Before I tell you all the questions I am sending to them, let me remind all of you. He said on the radio station, sitting next to me on my radio, very first time he came here, Glenn, if we add up all the money in our banks, we still do not have money to do one single project, meaning the oil project out there. I did respond to him 2 days after and asked him why we have to have money. To date, I received no answer. Guys, if you have a product, let me ask you this, man. If you have a product and you can't invest in a project, obviously the people you invite in has to come with their money to do the job. Not true, man?
Yes.
Huh?
They can invest.
Yes. That's why you're bringing them here.
Absolutely.
The nation didn't know that the people he invited to carry out the business would upon our oil fields and take loans to which we have to repay, plus the interest. Had Guyanese people know that, all of us would upon we own oil blocks with our own wealth to the international banks and hire experts like Exxon and the other oil players to carry out the business for us. That's all we had to do. We got plenty oil exports in Trinidad. We could have paid them nice salaries and get them on board. And we would have made the money for we. We would have made our gold, our diamond and all the bauxite money for ourselves. If we know we could have do that. By now, we would have made so much money, we would have gone past Dubai. We didn't need Exxon and the other foreign players here.
No.
Why do we have them here? To rob us? Guys, to rob us? You understand what I'm saying? Them take we wealth to go pledge it. Why we couldn't do that?
Exactly.
And Jagdev got enough to tell me, if we add up all the money, we don't have to add up money.
We have the block.
We got the air blocks, it's the same thing Exxon and everybody doing.
Yep.
When the foreigners in the gold and diamond field, they come and they suss the gold and they put it and say, shareholders, invest here, look what we have here. So the people are selling, they're using our wealth. And Jagdev fooling us. All the financial guru fooling us, telling me that the people coming here. Wow. Guys, the tax alone, we lose out from that 1 year alone. Could have taken we out with debts and double public servant salary. I want Mr. Jagdev, Harman or Ramjatan answer that. Loans being borrowed and secured through Guyana's wealth. Oh my gosh. We have no control over the terms and conditions of those loans too. We have no say. We don't know who, when, how, or where they're borrowing it from. We have no say on the interest rates too. We leaders still hiding that from us. That's another question you should answer too. Leaders. Ramjatan tell me the same nonsense when I ask him, is what really Guyana getting from the Isle? His answer was, Glenn, the people ain't got to make money. Anybody who invests money got to make money. You know, I put on the phone that morning and never talk back to this fool. what money they invest here, Mr. Ramjatan and Mr. Jagdev?
What do they?
Let me repeat, man. Is we transport them tech and pledge for do what they're doing out there. Couldn't we have done the same? Huh? Gosh, man. The damages and destruction caused by these multinationals to our infrastructure and human life, our economy. Guys, the money we are receiving is putting us into further debts, leaving our people to continue to thief and beg to put food on the children's table. You guys care to speak on that, Mr. Ramjatan, Mr. Harman, or Mr. Jagdev? And not forgetting Ashni Singh and Jordan. I saw a beggar this morning using an umbrella on the road. Oh my gosh, no. Not in the rain. I couldn't stop. Had I stopped, I would have taken out the 50,000 and said, "Boy, go home and don't beg back for the rest of the year." You're laughing, it's funny. Alright, so let me get serious now. Here are some of the questions for all of you, to all the leaders, and to all Guyana. If you can grab a pen quickly and jot them down, because I'll be asking them the same question. Why, this is the first one, why don't we have a ring fencing provision in the Exxon contract, not only to protect us, but to save us billions of US dollars? That's the first question. Why do we have to give Exxon and its partners 1 month notice before we can go to check, to audit their books, when we have a 50-50 partnership? That's two. Why are we paying ExxonMobil's taxes for them? They're contractors and subcontractors. Next, why do we allow oil players to dump produced water into our ocean when they were supposed to re-inject it back? Why are we allowing flaring during full production when they were supposed to re-inject it back too? Why is it that Guyana does not have a local content policy in place? 6 years now since we find oil. Why is it that we have one of the worst oil contracts on earth in the last 100 years that gives Guyana 2% royalty, and yet transportation costs have to come out from that? Why is ballast water being dumped into our oceans by the oil ships? Why does Guyana not have full cover insurance to protect the citizens of this country, the country as a whole, and other neighboring countries when an oil spill or disaster happen out there? Why do we not have any say or control on these billions of dollars, American dollars, spending on this field development plan when we have a 50-50 partnership? Why does Guyana have no say on the cost of the rentals of supply vessels out there? Why do we not have control or say on the daily costs or expenses on the oil operations? Why don't we have anyone checking the barrels of oil that is coming up on a daily basis? And why are we depending on the figures ExxonMobil and its partners produce to us? Why? Is this how two countries, two companies, or two people do 50-50 business? Why is the nation not given full information about what is going on with the people's wealth, our gold, our diamond, our bauxite, etc.? As for the decommissioning, the cleanup, why is it that funds are being taken out and the nation does not know how much is being taken out, where it's being kept, and who is benefiting from that funds? Why does Guyana not have the capability to handle the toxic waste product that is being discharged from Liza 1? No one knows who, where, or what they're doing with it. I think they're burning it at Schlumberger at Houston. I don't know, I'm not certain. But you need to answer these questions. Why is it that in case of a well blowout, oil companies have nothing in place to safeguard or protect this country? Our EPA said our Civil Defense Commission, I had to laugh, is dealing with that. How do they plan on dealing with that? With what? Blow up balloons or ballyhoo? Why does Guyana not know the interest rate they're paying on the 20 million loans sitting out there with 1, 2, and 3 PIARA? By law, no oil company should get more than 60 oil blocks. That's our laws. Why ExxonMobil was given 600? Mr. Leaders, why? Every 5 years, a matter of fact, if you guys don't show up, I'll be talking about that. That will be my topic Friday. 60 oil block. The law says one can have. And these leaders, these beautiful leaders, handsome leaders, give the people 600. Every 5 years, all oil companies have to relinquish 20% of their block or blocks. Why did our leaders extend the time for them? Why is it that our leaders, including our Vice President Kaieteur, are not asking, much as demanding, a renegotiation of this one-sided, lopsided Exxon contract when it is clear in the PSA that both parties have to agree? Why? Who is selling out? Who's selling our oil? At what price? And what is the arrangement? Is it the citizens who have to go to the court to fight for a renegotiation? When the PSA has the provision for renegotiation? Tell us, Mr. Kaieteur. These are nice questions, and I'm giving you them up front. Let me give you more. Let me ask this question. Is it that you guys are receiving some personal benefits from the oil companies that is preventing all of you from seeking to renegotiate this oil contract? Imagine, Guyana, a citizen, Melinda Janke, had to go to court to get the 20-year EPA permit issued to ExxonMobil reversed to what the law requires. Why, Mr. Kaieteur? Why, Mr. Harman, Mr. Trackman, Mr. Ramjatan? Why did that woman have to spend her money, her expertise, her time to correct what you guys did when you broke the laws of this country to facilitate ExxonMobil? Is it the citizens who have to go to court to correct the 600 oil blocks given to Exxon when they only entitled to 60 leaders?
It's like
Good going. Those are only 27 questions for now. Guyanese brothers and sisters, is only 27 questions I asked them there. See you guys on Friday program at 7:20. You don't have to come in, call the phone lines. 226-7454, 226-7455. You can call my number. Most of you have my number. Call me on the cell phone. Call me WhatsApp though, so that will be free. Brothers and sisters of this country, my fellow citizens, I give them 27 questions there. I don't want them to answer all 27. It's too much to talk about in one program or on one night. Let them pick any 5 or 3. I am waiting on them Friday to give me the answers. I am calling the globe span, and I'll be sending these messages just in case they don't come or call him. So when you guys ready to go back to globe span, they will ask you the questions there, and we will get to hear your answers, and we'll take it one step at a time. Thank you so much, Bishop, and thanks to all of you who pray for me. I am calling on all the churches, the mandirs, the mosques, all religious organizations to speak up, speak out, stand up for your followers and for this nation. Guyana, we are in trouble, but we are not far gone. We can do it. We can change it if we do it together. Yes, we can. We can turn it around with your support. Lall alone can't do it. I need your support. I need your help. If not, generations will suffer. You guys have seen what many nations who got 10, 12, 15, 20% in royalties, many of their citizens, 50, 60, 70% of their citizens are living today as I speak with less than 300 Guyana dollar a day. Don't make that happen to us. Let us stand together, fight together, and demand our 50% royalty. Good night. God bless you guys.
And you are listening to the rebroadcast of the Lall Show. We really hope that you would be able to pay keen attention and you would have learned something this evening. For the record, that was a rebroadcast, and we hope that you would continue to listen to us here in Kaieteur. In case you might have missed it, we bring to you a rebroadcast of this very set program